Okay, welcome back everybody. It is Monday, the 19th of February. I took a little break from working on the car again over the weekend, and we're back at it tonight. So, we got a few more things from our orders. I got some valve spring shims that we needed. Got a bunch of those actually. Those aren't going to go in yet. We're going to actually wait until we do the after the braking procedure, when we run the motor. Braking procedure for the cam. It's about I think it's roughly a half an hour. I feel like that might not be right, but anyway, after the cam's braking procedure, when we put the dual valve spring back on the inside of the single valve spring that's on there now, that's when we'll put the shims in to bring them up to the correct install height. We got a couple helicoil sets because I got a couple stripped out bolts, holes that need some helicoils, and I didn't have any in my other kit that I have over there. We got some brake fitting adapters for the line lock. Those are actually for that cylinder. We got our 45-degree MPT, quarter-inch MPT fittings for the heads. And this is actually a piston, because we got some new pistons. We'll talk about those later. We got our flex hone for cleaning up. This is the big dingle ball, they call it. Some people do, at least. The big flex hone for cleaning up the cylinders. I think it'll work in the 400 as well as in the 305 and the 350s. So we got that, and these are all the things that are just going to go on the shelf. I think tonight we're going to start by welding up the frame ties. I don't think I'm going to get video footage of that because don't really know how to record welding with this camera. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that and show you pictures of after. So we're going to get started on that. Afterward, we might do a couple other things. Maybe we'll fix these threads on a couple of the items that are stripped out. But that we're going to start off with the welding down there. So here we go. Okay, so we got those frame ties all welded up in there. I'm not the greatest welder in the world. And I don't have the greatest welder in the world. But we got them up in there, and they are very secure. So, we painted them already. Ground the welds down a little bit, made them pretty, and then put some paint on there so that it won't rust out. If I can hit the flash here a second. There's the passenger side one, and it's welded there. That bar's actually welded to the main bar, and then it's welded in the front, and we got it all painted up so that it'll look nice. We'll go over quick and look at the driver's side one. Driver's side one coming in. And it's welded there, obviously, and then right here as well. So, yeah. There are those. Feel free to complain about my welding job. I know it's secure, so I don't really care how it looks. I would like to be a better welder, but I don't weld on stuff very often, and so I don't have a need to yet. Someday. Anyway, I think I'll play a little bit with this. Yeah, I'm gonna get the line lock out and these fittings, make sure these are the correct fittings for the line lock, and then they should be the correct size on the back for this fitting on the end of this brake line. We're going to confirm that. I don't know what else I'm going to do tonight. Most of the stuff I have left, honestly, is getting this master cylinder installed, the line lock or solenoid, whatever, valve installed and wherever that's going to be, and then wiring this up in here. And then because of this shifter, pardon me, because of this aftermarket shifter, it doesn't have park neutral switch, safety switch anymore, so you can start it in the gear. I'm not going to hook that back up, but I also don't have reverse lights when I put it in reverse, because it just didn't have any hookups for that, which is fine, normal, whatever, I expected that. So, pardon me again. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with this thing. If I'm going to try and make some sort of switch that comes on when you put it in reverse, or if I'm just going to make a separate switch that you hit with your thumb or whatever close by to hit the reverse lights on when you're backing up. Because it is still a street car, going to still be street driven. I'd like it to have reverse when you're in reverse to let people know you're backing up. That'd be very handy. Got a few more things I could wire up in here, I suppose. Probably not going to do that tonight, but I got a new connectors. Which end of this comes out? Come on now. So these are just what I had on there. Just these blade connectors. And they would pop onto the back of those. Unfortunately, the connectors on the wire are larger than these blades on here, so they don't really fit very well. And I would hook it up. This is for the launch control, RPM control, two-step. And I would hook it up to the steering wheel, but as I was driving through the staging lanes, as soon as you made like a full rotation, they just pop off. And they're a pain in the butt to hook back up. So I have some actual like weather pack 2-wire connectors that I'm going to solder onto here with a little pigtail, and then solder onto that end with a little pigtail so you can actually clip it together. And then this phone cord style wire will just spring. It's got enough, it's got a good connection, and once it's hooked better on that end, it'll be a good connection there. So it'll just be able to turn around with that. So I got to hook that up at some point. Then the the reverse switch. I think that's all. Well, and then we were just talking about it up front. What's it called? The line lock switch, which I think you can hook as a switch. It comes with a little switch that's supposed to mount on the shifter because it's for a manual, essentially, so that when they have the clutch and when they have the clutch in and they're on the starting line, and they have the clutch and they're using their other foot for the gas, you can hold the brakes with it. So it's supposed to be on the shifter. Anyway, it comes with a shifter mount. Not sure if it's right size for that, but I have to wire that up. So I think there's only 3, hopefully, electrical things to wire up, because I'm not a big fan of doing electrical stuff. It's not that it's awfully hard or difficult, it's just time consuming, and it's not all that fun. So anyway, I can play around more with the 400 block. There's the crank out of it. If anybody wants to buy that thing, it is for sale. I have no use for it. It does need to be turned, but it'd make a great 383 stroker crank and a 350 if you took it to a machine shop and got it turned. First come, first serve on that. If you get back to me or don't get back to me, whoever gets it first can have it. I want like $50 for it, and then if you live far away, you pay shipping. Otherwise, I'm willing to travel like an hour or so to drop it off. But other than that, I can work at the 400 block some. I don't really feel like pulling the 350 block back over here and honing it a little bit, but maybe I will. I don't know. Otherwise, most of the stuff I've got sitting around is for when we get the block back, other than the transmissions. But I want to finish up. I want to finish up everything with the car first before I do the transmission. I don't know why, it's just how I feel. So anyway, we'll see. I think we're going to play around with the brake system right now. so the new master cylinder is attached to the firewall, or to the brake booster. Okay, it's bolted in there. And we have the one brake fitting that actually threads into it installed. Okay. I either have to remake this brake line with the correct fitting, or I'm waiting on a possible adapter from this size fitting to that size fitting. It's supposed to be from this size to that size. However, it might be from that size to this size, which poor description on the part, but if it is, great. If not, then we will have to just make another brake line from here to here. Obviously, the adapters I got to go into this thing are not the correct size. See? Yeah, those are not correct. So I'm gonna have to remeasure diameter on this nut and thread count and try and get the correct adapters. And then I'm going to have to make one small brake line to go into the bottom of this with this size nut out, and then go into the line lock here somewhere in this area is where I'm going to mount that, somewhere in here. And then this will go to the bottom, it'll flow through, and we'll be golden. And then we just have to get all the air out of the system, which should be lots of fun. Always lots of fun when you change a master cylinder, especially if you don't bench bleed the master cylinder, which I didn't, but it's not impossible. It's just difficult. So we're gonna do that, but I'm waiting on fittings now for this. So that's it for the brakes for tonight. Yay. What else do I got? I can, and I think I will, go ahead and do my Healy coil repairs on the stuff that needs repaired real quick, and make probably some little shorts of that, little video of that, and I'll add that in. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video and just upload this as one, because I feel like I've been babbling for a while and I probably have enough of just me talking for a video. So we'll go ahead and put that up, and then I'll make a video of repairing those threads, and then maybe of boring or honing on the 400, and some talk about what I think we're going to do with the 400. So stay tuned for that. Good night.